This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Many of President Trump's import tariffs are set to kick in tomorrow, and since nobody really knows how this is going to go, automakers are considering all of their options. And according to Bloomberg, Mercedes could start cutting imports of its least expensive models like the GLA crossover. The automaker denied the report, but if the tariffs do go into full effect, it could potentially wipe out any profits Mercedes would make on the vehicle. And it wouldn't just be Mercedes. Most entry-level or affordable vehicles are made outside of the U.S., and most automakers are probably crunching the numbers to see if it would still make sense to import those models with the tariffs in effect. And that's only part of what makes tomorrow such a big day, because so many groups will be impacted, maybe even some you never thought of. Automotive News reports that classic car importers and parts dealers have no idea if the tariffs will apply to them because not even officials from U.S. Customs and Border Protection have been updated by the administration yet. If they are hit, it would be especially impactful to vintage trucks from foreign automakers since they're already slapped with the 25% chicken tax. So any new tariffs would stack on top of that. And in some cases, these importers are not big businesses. They're small groups or individuals. So they could be hit harder by any price increases. But it looks like Trump's negotiation tactics have paid off with one country. Reuters reports that India is going to lower its import tariff on EVs, which is as high as 100% in some cases. Although it's not known how much it will be lowered or when. But part of what makes this so interesting is that automakers in India, like Tata and Mahindra, are against lowering the tariffs right now. They were hoping to see the tariffs stick around for another 4 years, then see a phased rollback after that. However, it looks like the EV imports will be part of a wider trade deal between the US and India. Did American car buyers rush out to get a new car before those tariffs raised prices? Well, to some extent, but maybe not as much as we thought. Automakers sold over 3.6 million vehicles in the first quarter, up 4.7%. General Motors saw its sales soar nearly 17%. Hyundai, Kia, and Mazda were up 10%. Subaru was up 9%, and Volvo up 8%. But it was a disaster for Stellantis, which saw its sales plummet nearly 12%. Ford saw its sales fall 1.3%, which it blamed on lower fleet sales. It also phased out the Ford Edge, which cost it 35,000 units compared to last year. As of when we recorded this, Mercedes-Benz and Porsche had not reported their sales, but they won't change the numbers much. Analysts expect sales to stay strong for at least a couple more months before the impact of the tariffs take hold. And we expect Toyota, Honda, and Subaru to feel the impact first since they operate with the lowest levels of inventory.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Well, that didn't take long. Yesterday, we reported that the Chinese government wants to restructure state-owned car companies because there are too many of them making too many vehicles. And now the New York Times reports that two of those state-owned car makers, Changan and Dongfeng, are in talks to merge. The report says the two companies have also alerted their foreign partners about a potential tie-up. Dongfeng has a market cap of $4.9 billion, while Changan is valued at $15.6 billion. A merger between the two automakers isn't too surprising because back in February, there was speculation the two could merge after they both announced plans to restructure at the same time. The EU is fining most members of the ACEA, or the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, nearly $500 million for taking part in a vehicle recycling cartel. The EU says the scheme took place between 2002 and 2017, and it accused the companies of agreeing not to advertise what percentage of a vehicle can be recycled and not disclose how much recycled material is in a vehicle. The EU also says the automakers agreed not to pay dismantlers to recycle end-of-life vehicles. EU law requires automakers to pay for recycling cars if needed to allow customers to get rid of a car that's no longer usable. The ACEA represents 16 automakers in Europe, and only Mercedes avoided a fine because it blew the whistle on the cartel. Volkswagen, Stellantis, Renault Nissan, and Ford received the largest fines. And speaking of the ACEA, it says Europe needs to do more to boost demand for electric vehicles. While the group is happy, the EU recently gave automakers a 3-year window to meet 2025 emission targets and says it's, quote, a step in the right direction. The ACEA wants Europe to do more to promote EVs. The share of pure electric vehicles in Europe is 15%. So the ACEA is asking for more EV incentives and more investment in the charging infrastructure. It's also calling on the EU to do more to help with zero-emission commercial trucks, which currently only account for 2% of registrations in Europe, because that puts the segment in danger of missing emission targets. Hey, you may remember we told you that Honda was considering setting up a memorabilia business and selling things like parts from Ayrton Senna's 1990 F1 Championship V10 engine. Well, it officially launched that business and will soon start offering the parts and much more through private sales or auctions. And hey, before we go, we need to ask for your help. We're now offering memberships to Autoline that you can sign up for on YouTube or Patreon. As you probably know, the automotive media is going through enormous upheaval. Lots of media sites are going out of business. We need to make sure that doesn't happen to us, and we need your support to keep going. You can look for the membership join button on our YouTube homepage, or better still, you can do it with Patreon, which is actually more beneficial for us. We have 3 levels of membership and offer different perks for each level. Just a few dollars a month can go a long way for us, and I'm hoping we can count on your support. But don't worry, absolutely nothing will change with your current viewership of Autoline. Daily will still be here every day and after hours every week. We're just offering a lot more on top of that. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by Changan Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Knowing that a little rain won't slow down your day. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track tires. Confident control in wet conditions.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Changan Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.